What is going on, people? Was IReapZz only one player? This elusive player whose identity is still unknown. They were so good, people were saying it had to be more than one player, and there's many theories around this saying it's loads of different people, but nothing has been proven with concrete evidence. We were introduced to IReapZz on COD 4 with the introduction of the Cursed montage, followed up by Cursed version 2 uploaded to Top Notch Multimedia. Version 2, in my opinion, being the one that set the tone and the level of the player. This player was way ahead of their time, and even if it was more than one player, you'd still say, you know, the group of players as a collective was still way ahead of their time. The accuracy, the feeds, the amount of kills in the clip, and the insane use of the Barrett 50 cal. No one was hitting clips like this or anywhere near. And you know, these montages will be forever classics and potentially the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Now, I want to go into playstyle, talking about playstyle. Me as an old competitive sniper, it's something I used to and still pay a lot of attention to. Now, as a sniper, I'd say you have two styles of play with a sniper. Two styles of play, how you get a kill with a sniper, right? You've got your pop shotter / quick scoper, and you've got your drag scoper, which is the category I'd say I fall into. But with a pop shotter, you tend to center your screen a lot. You center your screen within the crosshairs, and then you get a kill, center your screen again, get another kill, center your screen, get another kill again. Now a drag scoper won't favor centering their screen. What they'll do is they'll scope in as close as possible to the enemy and drag the crosshairs over. Scope in and drag, hence the name drag scoper. Now IReapZz, if you look at him, and I'm gonna call him because I'm not changing to he, they and genders every 2 seconds, so if you look at IReapZz, this is a pop shotter, definitely. If you look at the style of play, it is a pop shotter all day. Now, as a player, you can develop, and there will be changes to your playstyle and developments to habits, but habits are habits. And me, as someone who's played since COD 4, I've definitely had developments to my habits and playstyle. You know, in getting better, that will happen naturally, but habits are still habits at the core. And I know my playstyle at the core, despite how much better I've gotten and how much I've picked up, I know at the core, it's still the same, because I can watch some of my gameplay back and I can forget the gameplay, as you would do. You play a lot of games, but sometimes I can almost predict what I'm going to do or how I'm going to play. Now, if it was multiple people, maybe we'd see that stylistically. What are the chances that many people were that good if one couldn't be? It'd be more of a believable anomaly that one was that good as opposed to many, because loads of people, if anyone, weren't putting out clips to that level, as I've said. So let's have a bit of a deeper look into the IReapZz habits and playstyles. So like I've said before, this player is definitely a pop shotter, and that's visible in all of, if not the majority of the clips. Very aggressive playstyle, kills and then shoots forward. They tend to go back in their scope as soon as possible. Like some clips I watch, I'm like, how the fuck did you see that person? Like, just kill and go straight back in just in case there's someone there. Which makes sense that the Barrett 50 cal was made for this player. I mean, with that kind of playstyle and that kind of aggression, it makes sense why you'd need a gun that quick and with that many bullets. Now, let's talk about some more habits. If IReapZz gets a kill and he is near cover, he tends to shuffle. Maybe not shuffle behind cover, but when he shuffles, he favors the right side. If they get a kill and they don't see another enemy again, they shuffle again. It's a pretty restless playstyle, pretty like, I want to move, I want to see someone, I want to do something. One thing I did see, and I noticed even, you know, way back then, which is something I've not seen many people do, is a quick scope into a hard scope hold, which is quite unusual. So what I mean is, you know, he'll get 2 kills, you know, quick scoping, go back in the third time and hold the scope for a hard scope, come out and continue quick scoping. Now, why do I say that's unusual? For me personally, I either go for a quick scope or a hard scope, and you can kind of tell in my movement and the way I set up the kill. It's very unusual that I'd make a hybrid of both, and that's very distinctive to this player, I'd say. It's quite consistent, as are the rest of the habits that appear in these clips and throughout all of the videos. You know, it's pretty consistent all the way through. So now that I've spoken about playstyle, and I believe I've made my point there, I just want to go back quickly and talk about when IReapZz first came out. So when he first came on the scene, he said his name was Ashley, which Xdarknesss confirmed in 2020, so this seems to be true, and as much as we know about this player. But because of the name, people assumed it was a girl, so IReapZz just went with it and came out, you know, claiming to be a girl, which definitely helped. You know, it definitely helped push this player out and to become as big as they did become and are. You know, to back this up, all over IReapZz's YouTube channel, you know, you'd see these pictures of this girl, which we later found out was a girl from Australia. You know, Xdarknesss and IReapZz at a time as well had pretended to be with each other. So, you know, IReapZzz was the girlfriend, Xdarknesss was the boyfriend, and then to help this become even more believable, they did a dual commentary together. So it was Xdarknesss and whoever the hell was pretending to be IReapZzz. These two, you know, went on to do a phenomenal dualtage in Ascendancy. The problem now is that IReapZzz was so good and so popular and so well known, it was almost against him a bit. Like, it was, he got too huge, right? So because of this, the girl whose pictures he was using was made aware of this, and she came out and uploaded a video on IReapZzz saying, you know, this isn't actually me.
Hi, my name's Chantal. A few of you have asked me to upload a video of myself to prove that I am Chantal, the Australian girl, not this fake IReapZzz person who has been stealing my photos. So just to let you all know that I'm Chantal, not this IReapZzz person. So yeah, thanks for watching.
So everything's going great. We've got a backstory, we've got pictures, we've got a dual com, things are believable, and then we come out with this dualtage and it's fucking amazing. And then this video comes out which throws a spanner in the works. What does Xdarknesss do? Xdarknesss comes out and says, you know what, fuck it, like, I was paid to go along with this. Like, this is actually a dude. You know, this whole time this has been a dude. And when Xdarknesss, you know, like, doubled down on confirming it, everyone was like, oh shit, like, this is actually true. Like, we actually believe this properly now. But, you know, what's the point of me saying that? Like, well, you know, what was the point of me, you know, showing you that Chantel go? Well, the point is, right, is if you're going to expose someone, you're going to really expose someone. Now, if they were a collective, if there were more than one person and you were exposing them, you'd expose everybody. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to expose her as him, you'd have just exposed her as they. You know, like, why would you half expose someone? If it's more than one person, then expose everybody. Wouldn't that only make sense? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Now, when you look at the dualtages, I think Xdarknesss did keep up. They're amazing montages, but the standout clips for me were still from IReapZzz. Like, there is a visible level difference there. Now, you could say the best clips were just, you know, put with IReapZz's name on it. But again, look at playstyle and look at habits. Xdarknesss habits and style of play, although they're both aggressive, are visibly different.
Oh my God! Just stand up and scream. God is counting down. You can't take me to say goodnight so tonight. Just stand up and scream. God is counting down. You can't take me to say goodnight so
I've got a little story for you guys from the competitive sniping days, and the point of the story is that you can act like someone, but you can't play like someone. So TES, when the game first came out, the first 6 months, we had an amazing run. Like, we were undefeated, untouchable for 6 months. and then we lost to a team called Hectic. And then they were number 1 EU, and then I think they lost to Skies, and then Skies got number 1 EU, and then, you know, more people started giving the game a chance and started playing it more and more. But the point is, we had come out of the picture. You know, some of my players wanted to play Modern Warfare 2, they wanted to play another team, so we just disbanded for a bit. But, you know, I was still on the game. I was working on a montage with my teammate, Genetic. But then, you know, because we wanted to keep playing, we were like, well, why don't we just play under a different alias? So what we did was me and him, maybe I think one more person from our team, and a couple others from some other top teams, even some top Modern Warfare 2 teams, right, jumped on Black Ops. And what did we call the team? Well, we pretended to be OpTic. And it was funny because you were in the lobby and people, you know, like taking the piss and everything, like fanboys, like, we'll play you. It was hard to get a clan match as TES because people knew we were good, but as OpTic it was easy. Everyone wanted to play us. And what happened? We fucking smoked everybody. Smoked absolutely everybody, right? And I don't remember if we got number 1 EU as that team or not, but we did a bloody good job. I did manage to convince people though that it was another team. Like Hectic had beat TES, right? Took us off the number 1 spot, so they'd really be the only team that could be that level. So I pretended to be them, and it was really easy. Their leader called Crimson, Hectic Crimson, he has a lot of habits, and you know the way he talks, he says certain words, like he says lad a lot. I don't know if he still does now, but 10 years ago he did. So I used that a lot when I was talking to people, and you know, just spoke like him, acted like him, and people, you know, they were just convinced it was him. They were like, it has to be you, like it can't be anyone else, and it can't be any other team playing at this level, right? Now, how would anyone have found out it was us? Well, in the end, we came out and told everyone. Now, we did speak on it, like we said, yeah, we're gonna come out and tell people, but if we hadn't spoke on it together, people would have told anyway. Like, that was inevitable. And the point of me saying that, again, is you can act like someone, but you can't play like someone. Like, if someone had looked through the TES matches and like looked at the OpTic games we had, you'd have easily been able to tell, you know, who was playing as who. Like, you can tell. And the maturity of one versus the maturity of a group, right, you'd have come out and people would have told. Why would you have told? You want the greed, you want the popularity, you want the story to be told, you want people to know it's us. Like, it's much harder to keep it in if it's one person as opposed to a group of people. So if IReapZz, for me, if it was more than one person, it'd have come out ages ago. Someone would have spoke, someone would have shown something. Especially at that age, I'd say in Modern Warfare 2 days, if you were playing this actively, you're probably between 13 and 18, 19. So, you know, I don't think like 3 or 4 15-year-olds would have been able to hold that down for so long. One of the best things this person ever did was not disclose who they are. Like, I just think it makes everything so much better. I believe it was one person just ahead of their time. There's no proof of otherwise. Like, there's a lot of theories, speculation, but there's no solid proof. I think if it was a collective, you know, at least raw clips would have been uploaded by now. IReapZz himself has challenged us and said, you know, if I am more than one person, someone please like upload something, upload a raw clip or something. This clip specifically, this sub-based clip, you know, does anyone have this? Does anyone have anything? I just think it's one guy. And Darkness and Kaai 08, you know, in 2020 they did a reaction to the Ascendancy dual charge, and Darkness confirmed this himself.
COD Montage, like right out the gate, he like recording, like first day of recording what I said, he was kind of getting well known. Notice I'm dropping he a lot because it's just a bloke.
Big man,
like,
big man. Hang on a second. You're saying he. You're saying he.
Actually. He's a bloke, and you know the cat was out the gate when the bird that he was nicking these pictures from, like, put up a bit. He got too big that people in Australia knew like what was going on. This bird found out.
Yeah.
And, but you know, you mean fuck it, because.
So, guys, case closed.
Case closed. Enough of this. Yeah, he's a bloke. I'm a bloke. We're both just one person. There's loads of like me being multiple people. That I'm actually IReapZz as well, and I play on all these accounts, and I'm like, like this sickest player in the world. I'm not that good, but like,
but you're pretty good. Wait, come on.
So, yeah.
For me, with the evidence overall, this is just one person. It's just not multiple people. What do you guys think though? Do you think it's one person? Do you think it's more than one person? And are you still skeptical? If people do think it's multiple people, I'm very interested in hearing why. And thank you for watching. In a bit.